Hey everybody, it's Linda. And I just saw a quote that reminded me of it's perfect for this cast here now. Those who do not learn from their past are doomed to repeat it. And I'm bringing this up because I think it's a little bit of history would be a very good thing for some of us to go over because I know some of the things that I learned in school and some of the things that I've forgotten. And I know things that they're not teaching in school. So let's just start with 1871. Because we know 1776, everybody knows the date and all of that. You may not know the true history of that. You may know some of the history, but let's just put bullet points of dates out there. All right. So in 1871, the Act of 1871, it actually is when we got hijacked for the first time, or that's when the foreign entity was the foreign corporation called the United States actually created their own secret constitution for their corporation called Constitution of the United States of America in all capital letters. The original Constitution was actually written the Constitution for the United States of America and lowercase letters. So there's a subtle difference, but obviously that is when the corporation, the foreign corporation, was formed. Now, the next big thing that happened was in 1913 when the Federal Reserve Act was created for the Federal Reserve Bank. That's the Federal Reserve Bank. And they're headquartered in New York City, and it's a private bank. So if you're not aware of that, I think most people are by now. I'm pretty sure most people have a good grip on that. If you didn't know that, it's true. It's a privately owned bank with a small alliance of people, and they have full control of the entire monetary system of the United States of America. So there you go. There's that. I know when I'm saying some of these things here, a lot of you guys that watch my channel, you already know this, but I'm just going through a little bit of history for anybody that doesn't, or if you're new to my channel or you're new to what does constitutional convention mean and what does it mean. So I'm trying to get a little bit of history. Thank you for joining me tonight. The third biggest tug and pull, thanks to Scott Workman and his incredible book. So I'm just reading a couple little snippets out of there for you guys. But that was in 1933, and that was basically when they hijacked all the gold. And that was when we went bankrupt. So that is when we became their collateral and how we were forever indebted. It was in 33. It wasn't that long ago. So like our great grandparents or grandparents or great grandparents for some of us, depending on what age, or great great grandparents, that's when they were told, like, this is the best thing for the country. The country's bankrupt. We have to borrow this money, or however it was passed off. I don't know. But can you imagine just back to 1933? It really wasn't that long ago. And yet history can be twisted so that we don't even teach this in our schools anymore. I'd like to check with my kids. If my kids are watching this video, send me a text and let me know, guys, if you guys were actually taught all these things about the corporation and when they confiscated the gold and the Federal Reserve Act, and like, what were you taught about that? And if you're watching my channel and you want to throw it in the comments and let me know what you were taught in school about this kind of thing, I'm going to give you a couple of things. The links are already in the description box. I'm already set up for you guys. There's two big things that are happening, that are going on, that have already happened. The first one is the Constitutional Convention. Okay. No, let's talk about the Continental Congress first, because that already happened. That happened on July 5th this year, 2021. The link that is down in the description box will take you to freedomwatchusa.org, where Larry Klayman, who's a special prosecutor, he's been working with people, getting indictments out. You've probably seen some snippets. I posted some myself today. And what the work that this gentleman is doing is pretty incredible. But combine that with all these other movements that are happening, and we the people are taking back the country. Like, it's pretty amazing, this movement. So the Continental Congress, the third Continental Congress, already happened. It happened on July 5th. And if you guys already knew about that, that's great. But what I see when I go here is only a couple thousand views. And I know how things work with views and numbers. But This obviously is not going to be something that's out in mainstream right now, but it is happening. Doesn't make it any less valid. Remember, the military will back a government that is made by the people for the people. That's who the government will respect. I'm sorry, not the government, the military. Sorry. Yeah, it's been a lot the last couple days trying to keep up with everything that's our heads are spinning. So it looks like they had a couple days in Philadelphia that they have this in July. They have the full videos posted on the website. The link is in the description box. Now, couple that with the Constitutional Convention, where you'll have delegates that are debating and bringing things forward about how we're going to restructure this new government. And again, Scott Workman, his link's in the description box down below. I'm an official affiliate for that page. So when you're reading about the lawsuit, what the lawsuit will do is once, and I don't know if this is how it's going to play out. Like, this is my theory, because look, guys, we're all piecing this together. Nobody has the dates. Nobody knows the whole plan. But isn't it really cool that there's all these different things that are happening and how all these pieces just fit together? So I just think it's absolutely amazing. We have this Continental Congress that took place. We have people stepping up as prosecutors to do the indictments. And, you know, I don't know how they're going to arrest them. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they already have a plan. They're already working on that with the people's courts and a constitutional court. So that's cool. And then you have the Constitutional Convention. You have all the debates. It leads up. You have this whole thing that, Larry's working on one part, and then you got Scott working on the other, and a whole bunch of people behind them probably supporting them. But look, as these little movements, little pieces together make bigger pieces, and it brings the whole. So once these things are established and these indictments, if the military's behind a government by the people for the people, then we will find out if that's the case. If we are watching a movie and there is a plan, don't you think that maybe it's possible that those in charge are waiting for us, we the people, to move forward with what we need to do? I mean, they say that they're waiting for us. We're waiting for us. Everybody's waiting for somebody else. It's like everybody's sitting around with their hands under their butt, sitting on their butts going, wow, the military is going to save us. Ooh, this is going to happen. That's going to happen. Well, maybe not. Maybe they're still waiting for we the people. And in the meantime, you have these pieces, these groups that are doing this incredible work. So to establish, you got Russell J. Gould, who's using the parse syntax language to use the proper grammar structure for quantum now time. You've got that going on with treaties with Canada. You got people up there doing that. You've got the postmaster generals through them. You got special prosecutors, but you have all of the groundwork that was laid out for the Treasury to absorb the Fed. You have all of these things coming together. So I don't see why this can't happen. And yes, it could be very dangerous for people that are putting their necks out there and putting those videos out with the conventions and everything. But it was just the same back when. Let me read to you from the Constitutional Convention here. So I didn't know this. I just found this out a little while ago. So this is known, the 100-day debate was known as the Constitutional Convention. I didn't know it was 100 days. And if I did, I've forgotten. It was one of the most momentous occurrences in the United States constitutional history. And the events that would take place in the Pennsylvania State House during that time would set the United States on course towards becoming a true constitutional republic. Now, side note here on this website, maybe I'll screen share it so you can see it. A woman says to Benjamin Franklin, well, doctor, what have we got? A republic or a monarchy? And Benjamin Franklin replies, a republic, if you can keep it. Ha. Yeah, it's hard because there's so much wealth that comes from a true republic. And true liberty is freedom of choice, freedom of, my body, my right, all of that. Freedom to do what you want, when you want, not have anybody tell you you have to put something in your body you don't want to, not to have anybody telling you that you can only do this or that and you have to pay this to them, and illegal taxation without representation. I remember that one because it rhymed. That's one of the things that stuck in my head. But let me read a little bit more here because this is important stuff, you guys. The Constitutional Convention took place from May 14th to December 17th. 1787. So this was before we were hijacked, obviously. It was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The point of the event was to decide how many Americans, the point of the event was to decide how America was going to be governed. Although the convention had been officially called to revise the existing Articles of Confederation, many delegates had much bigger plans. Men like James Madison and Alexander Hamilton. They wanted to create a new government rather than to fix the existing one. Sound familiar? Do we want to create a new one, or do we want to go back to the one that we were supposed to have that got hijacked and stolen from us? The delegates elected George Washington to preside over the convention. 70 delegates had been appointed by the original states to attend the Constitutional Convention, but only 55 were able to be there. Rhode Island was the only state that did not send any delegates at all. Rhode Island? Oh no, we better get you to show up at this next one. I know someone in Rhode Island. Just saying. If you're watching, hon, poke, poke. As history played out, the results of the Constitutional Convention was the United States Constitution. But it wasn't an easy path. The drafting process was grueling. They wanted the supreme law of the United States to be perfect. So the first 2 months of the convention were fierce debates over the 15 points of the Virginia Plan, which had been proposed by Madison in an upgrade to the Articles of Confederation. Yet the Committee of Whole couldn't agree on anything. And so on July 24th of that year, the Committee of Detail was enacted to handle the drafting process. So this, you know what, let me share this. I'm just going on and on and on. Okay, so this is what I was just reading right here. This is constitutionfacts.com. And like the Committee of Detail, I know I never learned. John Rutledge, Edmund Randolph, Oliver Ellsworth, James Wilson, Nathaniel Gorham, George Washington, the first draft. All right, so you guys can go to this website if you want to read a little bit more. But, sometimes we go down rabbit holes and we go into that learning process. I'm just tired of learning this, that, and the other, and whatever. Well, guess what? It's happening now, whether we want to learn it or not. So as these movements pick up, you're going to have people that are going to doubt you. You're going to have groups that are going to dismiss you. Sure, it's not easy. I mean, in order for anything to work, it has to take traction and hold, but the foundation is good. The principles are good. It's on solid ground. And so with these pieces working separately and I don't know, maybe together, I sent an email out to Scott to ask him if he's working with Larry, just to say, wow, if they're working together, but if they're not, it's still going to come together. The plan may have been to wait for the people, but the people have to create the plan. We are co-creating all of this. And I say we because we know I talk a lot on my channel about being a co-creator. So God is the ultimate creator. God working through us is the Holy Spirit. He works through us, angels unaware, works through us in many ways. He, she, it, they, whatever you want to call it, the grand consciousness of the true source of all things. Now, people don't want to hear that when they're listening to things about the history of our government. They don't, they want to believe in one God, one way. Well, the beauty of a republic is that anybody can believe what they want. They have the freedom of religion. Like, that's incredible. There's a lot of things that are incredible, but there's also a lot of things in the Constitutional Convention that Scott Workman is working on. There's a lot of things that are going to be handled by councils instead of committees this time. And in that council work, it's going to be like here, it says it was grueling to get this worked out in the beginning, the first 2 months. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of grueling things, but you're going to be deciding whether or not laws that were laws on top of laws on top of laws, that some of them are just going to go right in the trash, like the tax codes. Sorry if you work for the tax guys, but it's gone. It's already gone. It has to happen. It's over time. We have to have that debt jubilee, all of these things that are in the Constitutional Convention's plans, the Scott Workman that he drew up, the Declaration of Restoration. So once all these people are tried in the Constitutional Court, which is not the same court system that we have now, it's not maritime law. We're not going by their rules and playing in their part. We are going and saying, nope, same as we did before, like that's your game. This is our thing right here. We're establishing a government for us. Like, see you bye. You can either be part of it or you can get left behind. Eventually, you'll probably join it because you'll see the freedom and abundance and the liberty that comes out of this. And it's going to be upgraded. It's going to be upgraded. Like, it's got the light of Christ behind it. We got the Christ grid, guys. We got the spirituality of people that are truly having experiences in themselves that can say, this is the way in to the promised land. And that's what's going to happen. I don't know. I don't know that. I'm speaking it because it's coming through me. I hope that that's what happens, but I also know it in here. So my no is not just hope, I guess. I don't know, you guys. Does anybody have any comments? Let me see. Mara Jean, hello. I know I've been just going on a little tangent there. I've been on such a rabbit hole of learning stuff. It's incredible. I thought I was done with this end of it, but it's circling back around because apparently we've got all of us, we've got a lot to learn about our history. If we don't know it, we're doomed to repeat it. So here we are trying to learn a little bit about what happened, where we got hijacked, where we went off course, and how we're going to steer this thing back. And the book from Scott Workman on all right, so you can find it actually. I think both of these guys are selling books on their website for for donations, not selling them, but I think 50 is one. You probably can buy the book without making a $50 donation. That's the link for the Continental. I'm sorry, it's the Freedom Watch one. freedomwatchusa.org. Yeah, that's the one. And Scott Workman's is the other link that I have down in the description box for the Constitutional Convention, the Declaration of Restoration. Now, if you want to become a founder as part of our new government that's going to be coming in, I mean, you sign the Declaration of Restoration, you don't have to donate anything. I did. I donated $10 and I got the books and I'm reading them and I really like the plan that he's got laid out. It's fascinating how these pieces fit together with all the other groups. So again, I think I'm repeating myself at this point. I'm very excited about this because we don't know how it's going to play out. We would love to think light switch moment. All of a sudden we get the EBS and this is happening. Well, maybe once we have this magic number of people on the Declaration of Restoration, maybe that's when the military goes into action. They can see everything in real time. We know everything. You guys, you don't even need your technology to be broadcasting. We are broadcasting all the time. If you don't get that we're in the matrix by now, it's going to be really hard to figure that out later. But hey, Lori, thanks for being here, girl. Nice to see you. And you're welcome. It's just what I do. So yeah, we're broadcasting all the time and we're broadcasting in multiple dimensions. So if you don't think that things are being watched and recorded and your integrity isn't being closely looked at, then, you might be very, very religious and you might be thinking God's watching everything. Well, you're still broadcasting to God. You're still broadcasting to whatever belief system you have that's got that higher self or oversoul or ascended master or ET beings or your, Christianity. You could have any, and Buddha, like pick any religion, pick any belief structure where somebody's watching out for you. But yet they always say that you take one step towards God, God will take a step towards you. So whatever your belief systems are, you have the freedom, at least for, a little while. Like we had a freedom. I don't know if we still do anymore. I hope we do. I hope we still have those freedoms. It looks like we're trying to restore them because it's very, very real that we are having a takeover in this country. And it's not just an information war, but it's a biochemical war. And it's a slow, grueling death to people that are being poisoned. It's been going on for years. And I know that sounds like crazy talk. And I could go all night on conspiracy theories and crazy talk. But why? Why don't we just focus on what the solution is? Keep focusing on the solution because it's found within here for everybody. You'll know truth when you hear it. You'll know what to do. Whether you choose that or not, that's up to you. That's up to everybody. Everybody gets to make that choice. Everybody who is still sitting on the fence thinking, I'll just stay completely neutral all the way through. I'll ride this out. I'll wait till it all goes away. Guess what? Every single person that has a soul has to make a choice. And, it's pretty basic because it's, light or dark, good or evil. I mean, we're in a duality here. So it's going to be when everybody has that chance to put their vote in, what side they're choosing. Once that's done and we get everybody who's on the fence off the fence because literally they're being rounded up to make their choice because time's up and we know it. So we're building the foundation one step at a time. And when the magic number, the magic moment, whatever point in destiny that is for the light switch, for public reveal, everybody does have to get on the same page. We are all, I believe this with all my heart, we are still all going to get all of the information that we need. We're going to get the truth to unite humanity. The truth. So whether you think our founding fathers were racists or whether you believe, they had a transgender agenda, or whether you believe something else, or this is this and this is that, whatever your judgments are on history, on the world, whatever, they're your judgments and criticisms and filters. That's your perceptions. Everybody has filters and perceptions and beliefs, and they have the right to have that. That's what liberty is. We need a lesson in liberty. We need a big, fat kick in the pants as the lazy American sloths that we've become. Not everybody, not you guys, but I'm just going. So we need a big kick in the pants to get up and realize, what is liberty? It's that freedom to have that. We want that freedom for ourselves. We have to respect other people for that freedom too. And where there have been wrongs, we're making them right. We are upgrading what this government is supposed to do. We're establishing the republic, but it's like Republic 2.0. And it's going to be a model for the rest of the world. It's going to be a beacon of light for the rest of the world. Any country that has signed on for this new template will receive exactly what they need for assistance, whether it's from our we the people owned central bank, or whether it's assistance for them to establish their own and use their own resources, or to get there. They might need a little loan in the beginning, but however that template works, I don't know. But I know that it is a duplicatable thing that can be spread throughout the world. This is like world peace. I'm looking a little further. I'm jumping ahead because, yes, we still have to get past a few more obstacles. Nobody knows when that magic moment is, what that 100th monkey effect will be. Nobody knows if some of these groups, if I'm promoting like 2 of these groups or movements saying these are good pieces to the puzzle, and then all of a sudden the military takes over because someone else has already done that behind the scenes. Well, great. But maybe it just took a little bit of action to get the momentum from the energy going through all the ley lines so that people realize that we the people are doing it. Because nothing's supposed to happen. How many times have we heard this? Nothing's supposed to happen until we the people step up to the plate and take action. But the action is not a revolution. It's with no shots fired. It's no war. Nobody needs to die for this. We need to just be able to believe again in our own selves, our truth, our victory, what we stand for, and be that beacon of light and literally establish this new 2.0 republic, a constitutional republic, so that we the people who are the owners of this dream, this incredible vision, we're the owners of this country. We select people who represent us for our best interest, not for their greed and their pocket and their crimes and their ridiculous salaries and benefits and their set of rules. No more. So this has to flip. It absolutely has to flip. And we needed a little reminder in history. Some of us, I know I did. So I figured I would share a little bit. I had more to share, but I think I've been going off a little much lately. I'm only going off 4 hours of sleep last night. So I'm trying to watch the what was that? It's the Constitutional Convention and the Continental Congress. It's hard to remember all those C's, but I'm trying to watch the Continental Congress. And I decided I'm going to do this broadcast first, and then I'm going to come back and watch it. I think it's the first day was like 5 hours or something, but I'm going to watch every second of it. This is history in the making, but maybe not history, her story. It's the past. And as it's happening in the now, we are creating something that's going to be forever remembered in the books. The history and her story books are going to be written about or writing about things that we're doing right now. So check out those links I already put for you down in the description box so you guys can go to those websites and you can yay or nay it for yourself. You can sit back and wait if you want. I'm sure you've already picked sides inside when you hear that, you've already picked the light. You know you have, unless you're a shriller troll watching me and creeping on me again, but you can pick too. You guys can pick too. So that's the beauty of it. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching and being here. And let's believe and trust. Lori, I love that. I'm just going to throw that up here real quick. Yes. Let's believe and trust. I do. I believe. I think that's it for tonight, guys. I am going to go take a little mental break. I love you guys. Feel free to send me an email if you have any questions or put some comments down below. Let me know how you feel about it. I will talk to you soon. Be a little bit better today than you were yesterday. Take care. Bye. Peace out. You have a great night too, Leanne. Thank you.